Hello, my sweet friend. I am Cristina Revalo, cake decorator, coach, and teacher, and I am here to empower my fellow cake artists to be creative and to work together as a tight cake community by providing information and opportunities for all, regardless of their level of expertise and knowledge. If you are a cake artist, cake decorator, baker, or cake enthusiast and want to be coached for success, this podcast is for you. Let me help you set achievable goals, understand that managing your time, having a positive mindset, understanding your customer, selling, using social media for your cake business, and knowing how to teach your craft are all as important as flour, sugar, and eggs. Let me share with you what has worked for me, all from a very personal and down to earth perspective. I want for you to put your name out there, not to be stressed with time and working hours, and to participate in cake collaborations and competitions so one day you will be that cake artist featured in a cake magazine or teaching at international events, just like me. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. Well, hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. So happy to be back after quite a break that I had in the month of August. Actually, I'm recording this at the end of August, but this will be airing in September, around September. But I did take a break, a long break, vacation, family time, me time, creative time, dedicating to other things that was not sitting in front of a computer or creating new projects or working with my students or working in the communities. And I have to say, I think is the best thing that I have done all year long, because not only I am recharge, renew, filled with ideas, and relaxed and willing to do what's next. But it also put a lot of things in perspective during this month about how we behave, about our humanity, about our humanity as being humans, not and having those connections with people, with family, with friends, going out. We work from home, we work remotely, so we're basically in our four walls all week long. And if we have to go out on the weekends, it's usually very punctual to either like meet a friend eventually or buying groceries or shopping or things that we have to do for the house. Sometimes not even on the weekends I go out because I have to clean the house or organize things around home. So this break was really, really good. And one of the things that made me think about was, of course, our human connections, because I had the chance to see again family, friends, people who came to visit, and some are here in Portugal, and the family that I haven't seen in a long time, my husband's family, which is quite large, and we had a few days together. Uh, I mean, we have new kids in the family, and there's a baby who just born, and she's going to be here in December. But all these new members of the family growing, all of those connections that we take for granted, and we're so focused on our work and our things that we do that we forget to appreciate it. And I really got the chance to appreciate it. And funny enough, one of the topics that used to come up a lot this summer, even between friends, was artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is a big deal, is happening, it's there. And I mean, there's so much controversy. People, I think, I mean, it's been here for a while, but I think people now start to realize the extent to what it is, and it has become more. Um, People has become more aware of their use, and it's in every app, it's in everything that you do. People start playing with it, like images or apps, and some people like it, some people don't like it. I had a pretty open relationship with AI since the beginning, or view of AI since the beginning. And I thought it was the moment to do a podcast about AI for our cake business, artificial intelligence, how is changing, affecting, or improving even our cake business. There's this big community of cake artists who are against it. There is part of this community who are open to, try it out. And a lot of people are starting using it for inspiration. But of course, you're always going to have people who's in favor, who's against. But going back to my first point, that I during this month that I of August, during this break, one of the things that I also did was learning. I love learning. I think I have become, I don't know, a learning addict. I love learning new things. I love listening to new people. I do not have either the attention span to read as much as I used to, but thank goodness now with podcasts and online courses, you can learn a lot, and audiobooks, you can learn a lot. And I've had the opportunity to read and learn a lot. And one of these courses that I took this month was about, it was funny because it was about happiness. It's a really nice course about how to be happy even in the worst situation of our lives, and the impact that it has on us, our health, our family, everything. And one of the topics that this teacher talked about was AI. And what he said just blew my mind, because it's what I kind of thought, but nobody had put it into words. So this episode today is, of course, focused for my cake community, is focused for you guys as cake decorators, cake artists, bakers who are in the other side and are facing this new tool that is called artificial intelligence. And some of you are scared. Some of you don't know what's going to happen to your job. Some of you are mad because customers are using AI images as inspiration, and you feel that they are impossible to achieve. Maybe you fear that customers will go away because they're not going to get what they want from those images. Actually, we're going to have a conversation, Cake Friends Stay Creative, about this, because I think the community needs to be heard. What are their concerns? If you're in favor or against it. So you're welcome to join the conversation. That will be on Friday, the 13th, on what a date, Friday the 13th on Cake Friends Stay Creative at 4 p.m. UK Portugal time. And Greenwich Meridian time was still +1 because it was still summertime. But I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear what you think about that. But anyway, going back to my original point, I want to focus this episode, of course, for cake artists, but I really, really want to share with you all the perspective that this teacher made me see. So I'm going to be referring to him a lot in this episode. I really like his point of view, and I found it really neutral, but really interesting, important, caring for humanity, but also at the same time facing the reality that we're seeing. And I really want to share this with you. So I'm going to be quoting this teacher here a lot in this episode, but always trying to put it, of course, in the perspective of cake artist, and be part of the conversation. Let's join the conversation. Let's see what you think about. As I listened to this teacher, and I really connected with what he said. Maybe you have a different opinion and you have a valid explanation for your opinion. I would love to hear it as well. I really want to know what's in your mind with artificial intelligence. So that's why we're doing this episode today. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to start in part 1 talking about some really important things to consider about AI, and the consequences and what's coming for our humanity with the use of artificial intelligence, and how can we face this the best way possible, and especially our community as cake artists. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and I hope you like this episode. Hey, my sweet friend, if you like this episode and enjoy this podcast, there is only one thing I want from you. Please like, follow, and leave me a started review in any of your favorite podcast platform where you're listening to this podcast now. This way, this program can keep growing. The algorithm will show it to more cake artists who will benefit from it. Download the episode, share it on your social media, and tag me, and I'll gladly tag you and follow you back. I would love to hear what you have to say. You can leave me a voice message on Anchor, Spotify for podcasters, answer the questions and polls on the episode, or leave me a comment on my social media. Even if you don't like what I say, I would love to hear your opinion. And let me invite you to follow me on Instagram as at the Art K Coach or in any of my social media accounts. I'll leave you all the links in the description of this episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Art K Coach podcast. Well, in this first part of this episode of using AI technology or artificial intelligence technology in our cake world, I want to talk to you about the reality of what's happening right now. This is not me who said it. This is something that it's out there, is said by many experts. But before we get into that, I'm going to give you my own opinion about this. When artificial intelligence started, I think I really heard about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. I think it was the beginning of this year, end of last year. I mean, there were rumors that was coming, but having access to it, I think I really started using it maybe well end of last year or beginning of this year, just out of curiosity. And I have to tell you, I have a weird, I don't know, fixation with whatever is different, with like the odd ones, sort of like Tim Burton Little Monsters. With I'm kind of nerd and geek, the outcasts, things that are different than us. So I'm being absolutely honest. When artificial intelligence came out, for me was like, first of all, I was in awe that humans were able to create that. Okay, because like I always say, when I create my sugar paste modeling figurines, they're like, I don't know, I feel like a little Frankenstein, like creating my little monsters, and they're there for me. They have life because they're part of me. They're part of my creativity. They're part of what I do. I even talk to them. I said it here on the podcast. Actually, I haven't been very creative later, and my sugar paste figurines have been just sitting there on the shelves, and I feel like I'm neglecting them. Sometimes I pass by and I say, I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention to you guys lately. Promise I will give you a little brother or sister soon, which is another piece of cake of edible art. But anyway, that's me. That's my geek side. So I was actually very amazed by the fact that humanity was able to create artificial intelligence. Then, as I started using it and I started reading about it, some people will say it's not actually intelligence, it's just the fastest search engine. That's what it is. Because ChatGPT, you ask things in a second, it will give you a lot of the answers that you need. But it will, of course, look for its answer on whatever is online. So it's like a very fast, very fancy Google. Okay, it's a thing. But whatever it is, it's I was amazed by the fact that some people created that, and being amazed by the capacity of our humanity, I treated it with curiosity and respect. I was like, whoa, I need to see this. I need what's going on. And when I started using it, I started using ChatGPT, especially for um, like if I have to organize social media posts or maybe a document or change a text into slides or presentation, or even to organize my podcast episodes, like having like a calendar, create an outline for the episodes, all of that. I do use ChatGPT, and it really makes my life easier, to the point that I start calling ChatGPT my personal assistant. So I call her Maria. That's her name. I thought I'm going to ask Maria about it. So I just go and ask ChatGPT. So that for me, it was always very open. It was like, whoa, I want to check it out. I want to see what's going on. And then images started to come out. Canva, I use Canva a lot, and Canva has a lot of AI tools in it. Uh, and I created like images for social media for the podcast and for banners for the group. I was just amazed by the fact that you just what it did. It's like, whoa, I just give instructions to the thing, and these things get these images. Wow, it's amazing. Of course, then the community starts showing images of cakes generated by AI and how they were concerned that customers were taking these images because they believed they were like true, they were real, and showing them as inspirations. Like, I want this cake done. And as a cake artist, as you can't have exactly replicate an image made by artificial intelligence. But in the other hand, this is my train of thought, right? In the other hand, this image generated by artificial intelligence, however polished, however filtered, was created by all the images that we as cake artists download online. Because otherwise, the machine wouldn't know how to create the image of a cake. So, I mean, it actually comes from our own work. If you see it that way, you agree or not, it's fine. I'm just saying what is in my mind. And the other thing is, if you don't educate yourself on what's AI and what's not AI, and if you don't educate your customers, you're always going to feel that you cannot fulfill the expectations of your customers. But that doesn't happen only with AI. So I'm going to address a different problem now. It's like with pricing. When people complain that clients do not pay what they think, I mean, clients do not value my work. My question is, do you value your work? Do you explain to your customer? Do you educate your customer to what is the value of your work? The customer is not going to know if you don't educate it. Well, kind of the same thing is happening with AI. If we do not educate our customer to this is not a real image, this is an AI generated image, you can use it as a tool for inspiration, but your final product is not going to look like that. And you can explain. I mean, you cannot put, because I've seen, for example, the other day I saw a cake that was surrounded by all Disney princesses, and the cake looked like, I don't know, maybe 20 centimeter cake. And it had all the princesses sitting around the cake on the base of the cake. I mean, you could do it, but the scale of the cake and the scale of the princesses and the details of the princesses, honey, I mean, that's going to be a hard cake to make, and it's going to be very expensive, and it's not going to look like that. So all of this conversation, you need to have it with your customer, either if it's about pricing, if it is about flavors, about allergenics, about transportation of your cake, and about AI. You still have to have a conversation with your client. And the most of the cake creators, cake artists, bakers out there who do not think of this as a business are not having conversations with their clients about anything. So of course they're going to say, no, it's AI fault. Oh, I'm against it. Let's just let's just go against it. Like, no, kill the monster. Well, I have news for you people. We cannot kill the monster. The monster's there. It is there. AI, it's already here. And there's no way we're going to, I mean, we are in the point of no return. It's here. Okay. And the other thing is, we have been interacting with AI for years now. The thing is, it wasn't presented to us as artificial intelligence, but search engines, apps, social media algorithms. Haven't you been in a place where you're talking about something and it starts showing on your phone? Hello? Or you search for something online and suddenly all of the, publicity about that thing that you were searching start popping up even on your email. Hello? Apps that know where you have been, what's your your common day routines. Google Maps and Google, sometimes I turn on my car and Google tells me you're this amount of minutes away from your home, take this road. And I didn't even ask. I'm like, I'm not going home. I'm going shopping, or I'm going, grocery shopping, or I'm going, I don't know, to fill the tank of my car. I'm not even going home. But since that is what I usually do from my daughter's school to my house, it immediately tells me this is the amount of time you will spend if you go this road. What is all of this? It is artificial intelligence. It's been here for a while now. The thing is, we didn't recognize it as artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence, as we know now, like ChatGPT and all of this app, is here, no doubt. So having a conversation on, oh, I don't think it's good, it's not going to change anything. Okay, we need to focus on what's coming and how to respond in a way to ensure that we as individual and as a collective succeed dealing with AI. Okay, predicting the result is hard. I'm going is You don't know what's going to happen. We never know what's going to happen. But according to experts, and I'm going to quote Mo Gatwood, I took a course with him with the BBC Master course about happiness, and he says that there are four inevitables to consider with AI. He talks about inevitables as things that are coming. So how are we going to deal with it? And he talks about the singularity point. The singularity point is where AI is going to be more intelligent, more intelligent than humans across all domains. Because the pace that is growing and the pace that is learning is really, really fast. So I don't want to depress you guys. I don't want to scare you because, like I said before, it all depends how you face what's coming because it's coming. But how we face it is what's going to make the difference. And that's where I want to go with this episode. Don't go anywhere because when we come back after this break, we will talk about these four inevitables. We love Cercino and we love its digital magazine. Cercino's free monthly magazine, We Love Pastry, is a monthly digital magazine bursting with absolutely incredible, easy to follow, and unique cake tutorials created by very talented artists from around the globe. Interesting interviews and blogs. You can also win products worth £50 and much more. You have cake tutorials, product information, cake events, cake collaboration, and you name it. Don't miss the free digital magazine every month by clicking in the link on the description of this episode. Thank you, We Love Pastry, for sponsoring today's episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hello, my friends. We are back with this episode. So, as I mentioned in the part before, AI is coming. It's here, it happens. There's no point in discussing if it's ethical, if it's risky, it's absolutely irrelevant. Of course, like I said before, all of this comes from what I learned from this person, Mo Gatwood. I'm going to be leaving the links to his social media and his work here in the episode so you can check it out. And I strongly recommend that if you have the chance to do or to be part of the BBC Master courses, which is something I've been doing this year, do the course on happiness. He shares a course on happiness. His story is amazing, and it's one of those things that I didn't really like. Okay, let me just check it out to see what it is, and it was transformative for me. And I mean, I found it great that he included AI and what's coming with AI in this course about happiness. I'm going to be talking about him a lot in today's episode. He mentioned this that is irrelevant to discuss about it, and as a result, we cannot escape what's going on. What we can do is we can learn how to use it in our favor. There is a race, and you can see this every day now. I mean, if you open social media and people is offering courses and things, everything goes around, or everything, it's a focus on learn how to use artificial intelligence, or how to use artificial intelligence in your favor, how to use apps with artificial intelligence to improve your working skills. Because in this competitive race, the best advantage is to, I'm going to say it, is to know how to use artificial intelligence in your favor for the job to continue evolving. That's what's going to happen. AI will become smarter than us. That's another inevitable. So the first inevitable, as I said, as he said before, is it's happening, it's here, forget it. I mean, drop the discussion that if it's good or bad, it's here. Second inevitable, it will become smarter than us. I know it's scary. Actually, when I say it, I feel like, oh God, we can't control the outcome of this, but we can focus on adapting our attitudes and actions to be as constructive as possible. This transition needs to be faced as humanity. I mean, as humans, when I mean that. The outcome of all of this hasn't happened yet. It could be positive, it could be negative, but I mean, it's definitely up to us. Technology can be positive in many aspects. We have seen in this past century uh, a speed in evolution of technology that we would have never dreamed before. I always said at my generation, I'm going to be 49 in a week, and I will be 50 next year. Um, it's I mean, our generation is a generation that was born when my first TV was black and white in my house. And we have come, I'm not going to name it, but you know how far we have come as humanity in this 50 years. So, the pace of evolution is crazy. Technology can be positive. How much technology has done for example, health? Imagine or think about how much technology has done for our lives, for everyday lives. So it could be positive. It doesn't have to be this Terminator scenario. Hopefully, it's not going to happen. That's not where we're heading. But at the end, the only thing in this equation, it's that is up to us. Another inevitable is that there will be consequences and there could be negative. Again, not as Terminator, but um, not as Terminator because not everything is so linear. I don't see it as so linear. Consequences, of course, could be a change in working opportunities, a change in what our jobs looks like, a change in maybe we're gonna go back to appreciate more skillful jobs like repairing of things, creating of handcrafts stuff, because that's something that humans are going to be able to do. Machines won't be able to do it. So we don't know what the consequence could be, but I don't see it as linear as, Terminator. Machines are going to take over the world. Look what happened during the pandemic. When the pandemic started, everybody thought it was like the zombie apocalypse, right? It's like, okay, we're all going to die. This is it. And the world's going to change and everything's going to be different. And actually, when you talk with people nowadays, 4 years later, everybody's like, no, no, I want to go back to, not go back to living the life you had before. You want to appreciate nature more. You want to appreciate your friends more. You want to go out more. Yeah, we're working from home, but we need this other side. So it's not as linear as we think it is. But of course, there will be consequences. Consequences will be there. Again, is up to us. And the other inevitable is that AI will be smarter than us and eventually match intelligence of life itself. Human intelligence, and this is what Mo Gadwat said, which was that was an aha moment for me. Human intelligence comes from scarcity. We're lacking of something, so we need to fix it or we need to make it happen. Okay, we need to carry things. We created the wheel. Or we need to move from, with transportation, we created the wheel. We need to get warmer, we discover how to make fire. From things that we're lacking, we create stuff. And I think until today, we buy the things that we need, that we don't have, or we feel that we need to have. So it always comes from scarcity. Well, it's nature. Intelligence comes from abundance. If you look at nature, if you go out and, get out of your phone and your computer for a little while and just look at nature, it's abundance. What you see is abundance. Nature creates more, gives more. And if it takes to gives more. I mean, if an animal kills another animal, the carcass of that animal is going to go into the earth, and it's going to be material to feed the ground and the plants that are going to grow. I mean, it's the cycle. It's a cycle of abundance. And what happens if artificial intelligence gets smarter even than us? Because we still believe that we're the smart ones. And when Ma Gadwin said, actually, nature is smarter than us, I think he had a point. So it could happen that eventually AI will become even smarter than life itself, than nature. Um, so, what do we need to focus on? We need to focus on team up with those cycles of abundance, um, to have access to more human intelligence, more, to an intelligence that is more connected with other things, so we can contribute positively to our existence and to the existence of AI. This is not me. I'm not inventing this. I'm just sharing with you what the intake or what the presentation of this man was. But it actually resonated with me a lot. And at the end of the day, when you look at all of these four inevitables, and we had an episode here about things you can control, things you cannot control. And he talks about that in his course. But one of the things that, I mean, if you transform this into an equation, the only the only data that you can move around and that you can control is you. It's how you face whatever is coming. It's your input on whatever is coming, and it's become more human than we already are. I think I believe in that. I believe in that. And funny enough, even without artificial intelligence, it has been my goal to become more human in a good way that we already are. Stick with me to part 3 of this episode, because we're going to talk about the challenges of these consequences. When I remember the point 3, when I talk about there will be consequences, the challenges that we might face and how to face those challenges. And of course, I'm going to talk about this as cake artists. How do we face those challenges in our business? As your cake coach, I am here to help you. If you want to go a little bit further in your journey to organize your time, set clear goals, maybe teach, work on your mindset, or set a roadmap for results, especially for results and success, I am here for you. Why don't you book a free discovery call with me? I will be leaving the links here in this episode so we can chat, we can talk about what you really need, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Remember, I have just one mission in this cake world. First is to unite the cake community as one, and to make you, my cake artist, my sweet friend, understand the importance of investing in you. Like I said, I will be leaving the links here in the description of this episode so you can book a 30 minutes free discovery call with me. And just remember, in case nobody said this to you today, I do appreciate you, and I want you to stay safe and stay creative. Talking about this, actually, I was just recording this episode, and I record this episode on an app online on my computer. And it's funny because when I look at everything, it's like, oh, my job has been in front of a computer and depending on technology for a while now. And this month off, one of the things that made me realize, like, I wanted to go back, not to make cakes. Probably I won't go back to making cakes, but I want to go back to having that human touch again. And just to let you know, like, this app that I'm using right now has a feature called AI voice, that from all the recordings, which are a lot, I mean, been 2 years doing this, from all the recordings of my voice in the platform, if I just introduce text, it will mimic my voice, and you can get an episode without me even speaking. And you will say, well, that could be really good if your voice is I mean, if you're sick, or if your voice is failing for some reason. But in the other hand, you say, well, that's pretty bad. You're deceiving people. You're not really talking. That's not you. I mean, they're good and they're bad and they're consequences. And it all depends on how you use it and how you see it. But see, it's everywhere. So talking about not happening is not a thing. It's not an issue. It's happening. It's happening is here. But as I promised in part 3 of this episode, I want to go back because in the course that I took, and I'm sorry that I keep talking about that, but it was really good. This lesson about AI, the teacher, Mo Gatwick, he talks about the challenges and the consequences that will happen, and what could be those challenges and those consequences that he refers to, and how can we face those. So I'm going back to those challenges and consequences that I mentioned before, and this is what he describes as the challenges that we'll face. Number one, it will be the redesigns of jobs. It's happening. It's already here. Jobs have already evolved. I mean, since we started, okay? And he gives like a timeline of when we started as humanity. We started from hunting and gathering, farming. Then we moved to farming. We stopped moving around and we start farming and creating our needs in one place. Then from farming, we've moved into industry. And all of this movement, things change and people works or jobs evolved and people lose jobs, of course. When the industry came, our jobs were based on, I mean, most of our jobs were made bigger, and we had a massive productions because of machines. We become more intelligent, yes. We collaborated with machines to work together. So our idea of preparing for a job went from a physical skill set to a smart skill set. And our jobs until now has been based on intelligence. Who has the most knowledge and who's more intelligent to work somewhere, right? Of course, our job as cake decorators is based on skills. That's it. But we need to be smart to run the business anyway, or at least have the knowledge to know to run the business. What's going to happen with AI is artificial intelligence. So the intelligence part is going to be taken by that. Okay, so how do we evolve from there? What do we do with that? We definitely need to work together with the machines. Otherwise, because what's going to happen is from now on, the future and the prosperity of our work will be divided on the people who use it as a tool and who knows how to use it, and especially who knows how to identify what is made with AI and what is not. And those who are not riding the wave, they're going to be left behind. That's sorry, but that's the future that's happening. Of course, an artificial intelligence cannot bake a cake for us. No, but it can generate an image. So as some of the people in the group mentioned in a poll that we did, is like it's going to take away the crafty part of designing the cake for our customer. It doesn't necessarily have to. It's like you can use it as a tool and you can offer this tool to your customer, or you can offer to your customer a more personalized tool where you create a design. Again, have the conversation. Talk to your customer about this. I'm going to give you an example. There's people who bake cakes from scratch. You know, you buy your eggs, flour, sugar, everything. And there's people who buy already pre-made cake mixes that you just put maybe eggs or water, or I don't know what, because I never used them. And you can do that, right? Both of them are cakes. Both of them taste fairly good, or really good, really bad. I don't know. But you have those two options. And you can tell your customer, I mean, if you want to reduce cost and time, you will go with a pre-made cake mixed. But if you want to give a more detailed, personalized experience to your customer, you want to make it special, you want to make it unique, you will go for the raw ingredients and create your cake from scratch. Okay? So, what do we do with AI? Okay, you want to move faster and you want to create a design faster, and your client is like, okay, this is it. I'm going to create this in half of the time. I'm going to use this tool to design your cake. It's not going to look like this. This is artificial intelligence. It's just for inspirations for you to understand how we can do it. Or do you want me to create a personalized design that you have to pay for that? I mean, all of that has to be into the conversation of using artificial intelligence and redesign our jobs. But artificial intelligence is not going it's not going to take away our baking jobs, because until now they cannot bake cake. Until now. The other hand is people complain about looking at cakes online, or people who are just creating accounts online with artificial intelligence image only, saying they're theirs. Come on. You can see it. If you look at, I mean, they're really good, but if you see it like thoroughly, you're like, no, that's artificial intelligence. So, of course, there has to be regulations. There has to be things created by apps and governments or whatever to say. And there are now. If you get into Instagram, there is a button there that says if your image is created by artificial intelligence, identify it as an artificial intelligence, just to create that boundary. You do it. And if somebody, I mean, again, I've I started this business 17 years ago, and I knew people who will take images from other cakes online, from other cake artists, create an Instagram account and said that the cakes were theirs. That happened already, and it wasn't artificial intelligence, was just the image that we upload online. And it was there. What happened? The clients will go there, they will do the cakes. The cakes didn't look remotely to what they looked like in their social media, they lost the client. Or they will get a lot of complaints for the owners of the pictures and eventually close their accounts and stop working. It's what it is. I mean, it happened before, not with artificial intelligence, but it happened before with the images that we upload online. So yeah, there will be a redesign of the job, but how can we use this tool in our favor? Honestly, what I use it for, which is organizing my content online for social media, organizing my calendar and the outline of the episodes on the podcast, it saves me, I will say, 2 to 3 hours of work. And as you know, everything that I do in my communities and everything that I do in the podcast, I do it for free. And I have to work. So I'm saving myself 3 hours of working on my regular job where I get paid so I can bring you good content with AI. That's what I do. I use it for that. Am I going to deceive you and tell you, oh, no, no, this is all of me? I'm the smartest person in the world. Everything that I said and everything that I organized is made only solely by me. No, I'm being honest. I do use to help me organize the outline of the episodes, because I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know how to organize them like in 2 seconds. That will take ChatGPT to organize this idea. So I will give the prompts like, I have this idea for this podcast. I want to talk about this, and this. Organize it. Please organize it in a coherent way, that I can give the message to my audience. And that's what it does. And it does it in seconds. And it saves me like 2 hours of work. Would I not use that? Of course I would. I mean, it's like, oh, I'm not going to use my stand-up mixer because I want to do the cake by hand. I mean, you could, yes, but it's going to take you how long? When you have a stand-up mixer, that you can do it in half of the time. So, again, let's put things in perspective. Yes, there will be a redesign of the job, but how are we going to use it in our favor? Another things that we can face with AI challenge, and this one is the one that for me is like, oh, the hair in the back of my neck just goes up, is the distortions of the truth. And for me, the worst part is the failure to identify it. not the distortion, because the distortion of the truth, I'm not going to go too deep into that. I have my own opinions, and I always said that I have my own opinions, but I don't share it openly because I'm not here to create controversy. It's not the aim of the show. But honestly, I think it's out there everywhere. The distortion of truth from, I'm not going to get into that, but from everything. And you know what I mean. So yeah, distortion with the truth of AI. So let's take it again to our business and the images. AI mimics us. Okay. So we face, sorry, fake images, fake, I don't know, fake so many things online every day. How long have you been using filters on Instagram? When you don't look your part, you don't look very well, and you're like, oh, let me just put some filter there with some butterflies or flowers, or maybe a nice smoothing my face. Like I teach, I'm gonna be honest, confession time. I teach online every single day, and I use Teams from Microsoft. And Teams from Microsoft has an app to soften your features, and you look like 5 years younger. I do have that feature on because by the end of the day at 4 o'clock, my face looks not good. And if I look a little bit better for my students, I will use it. I use it. I mean, it doesn't change who I am, but it makes my features look nicer. And it's fake. It's not the real me. If you look at me, it's like, okay, my face is not that smooth, but I do use it sometimes, or most of it. Actually, it's connected there. I never turn it off. But and on Instagram, how much? I mean, how many times we have used filters on Instagram? So fake is there. It's not new. Fake is there, and what have we done as humanity? Learn to recognize it. We have learned to recognize that things that we see, that doesn't look like, oh, that's not her face. Oh, you cannot look that good in the morning. It's like, no way. Um, so, yes, the distortion of the truth is there. But again, AI mimics what we do. So, what can we do as cake artists? Again, it's the example that I gave you before. Everything that AI creates for cakes is things that are already online, and we have put online. We have put online through all these years. So learn to identify what is real and what is not real. Okay. We need to educate ourselves and future generations to question, to investigate the truth, to drop conclusions. Of course, regulations will exist, but we cannot rely only on government regulations. We need to know how human we are. We need to know what we're capable of. We need to know what's true and what is not. And it all comes down to that connections, to go back to basic, to know your own flaws. When you know your flaws, how do we identify a woman who's using a filter online? Because you know that you cannot look like that at 7 in the morning when you wake up, unless you have a full face of makeup or you have a makeup artist hitting in your bathroom every morning. So, right? We know our flaws. So that's how we identify what's fake and what's not fake. Same happened with our cakes. When you see a cake online, and educate your customers. You can, because the customer doesn't know, but you know because you are the cake artist. When you see that cake there and you're like, that's AI, that's not true. Educate yourself to what's real and what is not real. Okay. That's my intake for the distortion of the truth. Of course, I'm not going to get into other consequences that can be with distortion of the truth. We know AI can imitate voices, like I just said it, can imitate faces, can imitate. I mean, there's so many things happening online and in the news that I doubt. So if you are in doubt, just go and investigate, check it out, question yourself. Question yourself. It's like, is this possible? Why is possible? Why is not possible? One thing that I usually do when you see those reels and those things is like, I see the angle of the image. Who's taking the picture? Why is this person taking a picture in the middle of something bad happening? Is this staged? Is not staged? Ask yourself all these questions and don't judge, but just recognize what's true and what is not. The third consequences is, and that's one consequence that we are living right now with younger generations, is social isolation. Artificial connections on social media has become an issue for a long time. That sense of detachment from the reality, and that sense of I can be myself behind a camera, I can be myself behind a phone, but I cannot be myself in front of a person. I don't feel comfortable going out. I don't feel comfortable dealing with people, but I feel comfortable dealing with commenting on social media, or playing a video games and creating connections through a video game. Think about that. Okay? Sit down and think about that. Because what happens is, if our connection relies solely on online connections, isolation, how do we know what's real and what's not real? How do we know if the person on the other side is AI generated or is not? We won't. So, how can we control that? And that is something that really scares me for future generations, because I didn't grow up like that. Our generation didn't live like that. And sometimes, honestly, sometimes I just want to go back to, I don't know, 1980. It's like, remember how the world was there? It's like, yeah, I want to go back there. I want to go back to that feeling of having that connection with people. And it's hard. It's hard for these new generations. I have a teenager, and my daughters have very like 8-year difference, and I see a big difference between them and between what's happening with the kids nowadays, with the social isolation. How many of young people, I've heard this from my friends, like, my children started working during the pandemic and they don't know what is to go to an office to work, and they don't want to. That actually scares me more than AI, because it's not AI fault, it's our fault. This is what we have become as humanity. How do we suppress that? How do we change that? Take a break. I have to tell you, this break that I just took last month was so good. Going back to basics, going back to my real connections. Take a break from social media, take a break from isolation. Be more human, okay? Connect. Call that friend, set that coffee with a friend, call that family member, visit your family. I mean, go out to the supermarket. Do not buy online. Just go out to the supermarket. Say hello to the people in the supermarket. Say good morning. Take your dog for a walk. Go for a walk and say hello to the people who pass by. Connect. And for our cake world, because we live very isolated jobs, connect with whoever works in your area. Actually, that's something that I want to do here in Portugal, because I haven't done it. It's something that is here. It's in the back of my mind, and I haven't done it. And it's funny because I see my cake friends from Portugal at Birmingham in Cake International. I don't see them here. We need that connection. We do need that connection. We need to go back to human connections. And if you can, go to events like Cake International. Have a, I don't know, a baking buddy, recipe sharing afternoon, something that will make you go back to that human connection. And the fourth one is the pace of change. Everything is happening so fast that it can feel overwhelming. And what's more, it's our capacity to cope with the change. It's resulting in anxiety, is resulting in uncertainty. We feel that we need to learn and build a skill set to cope with this. And for some of us, it's hard. For some people, it's like, I cannot cope with this. I feel it for older generations who are even now, they're starting to grasp the idea of a computer and a Facebook, and now they have to coexist with artificial intelligence. It is hard, okay? But we need to see the positive on this, and we need to adapt and learn. Learn. Do not close yourself to learning. Do not close yourself to investigating, questioning, and trying to use all of these tools in your benefit. But above all, Learn to become more human. Okay? Learn, use your brain, use your body, move, go out, become more human. I think that's it. Become more human, because when you become more human, when you become more aware of who you are, of your emotions, of everything that's make you, with your good and your bad, your flaws and your positive, everything else that changes so fast. I mean, you have to cope with it, yes, but it you will be coping from a point of self-awareness and assurance and peace. So become more humans, because it's overwhelming. It's a lot. As cake artist, my advice to all of you is, do not close yourself to the change, because the change is here. It's not going to go anywhere. Embrace it as something that could be a positive tool. Embrace it as something that could help you. Try to see the positive. Yeah, I do that a lot. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But I do that a lot. I try to, okay, let's see the positive in it. Be aware of the consequences, of course, but don't lose that humanity in you. In this last part, that I'm going to take a break now, but in this last part, we're going to talk about something that Mo Gawat talked, and for me it was like, whoa, that is about our responsibility as humans with the use of AI and how that can change our future. So don't go anywhere, because we're about to finish this episode. As your K coach, I am here to help you. If you want to go a little bit further in your journey, to organize your time, set clear goals, maybe teach, work on your mindset, or set a roadmap for results, especially for results and success, I am here for you. Why don't you book a free discovery call with me? I will be leaving the links here in this episode so we can chat, we can talk about what you really need, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Remember, I have just one mission in this cake world. First is to unite the cake community as one, and to make you, my cake artist, my sweet friend, understand the importance of investing in you. Like I said, I will be leaving the links here in the description of this episode so you can book a 30 minutes free discovery call with me. And just remember, in case nobody said this to you today, I do appreciate you, and I want you to stay safe and stay creative. Hello, my friends. We are back to wrap up this episode about AI in our cake world. I just want to leave you a message that everything that I've said here today, it's what I believe. It's not the absolute truth. It's just what I believe could be our future with AI, especially for our cake business. But I respect any intake and any opinion that you have about AI, because it's something so new that we actually don't know what's going to happen. This is, let's say, a projection of what could happen from where we're standing, knowing the facts and knowing what's going on, for our cake business, of course, and for us as humanity. And of course, it's based on this course that I took, as I mentioned before, that resonated with what I believe. So that's why I'm sharing this with you today. But if you have a different opinion, if you want your opinion to be heard, and of course in a positive and constructive way, we're not here to bully anyone. There will be an open conversation on Cake Friends Stay Creative Friday, the 13th of September at 4 p.m. On that's UK Portugal time. Join the conversation. Join the conversation, because I would love to hear your opinion, and maybe I can learn something from what you have to say as well. I'm very open to learn about this, because, like I said, I know it's here. I know it's something we cannot oppose to. AI is here to stay. But how we face it, I would love to hear your opinion. In this course, the last part of this course that I took, this teacher, Mo Gadwag, talked about the responsibility that we have as humanity in front of the machine, in front of AI. And he talked about AI as being a toddler, a little kid that is learning from us. When we teach our kids, we usually, well, actually, we tell them what to do, and sometimes we don't do the example. But actually, they learn by example. That's what they learn from. They learn by example from us. If you have children, if you know somebody who has children, you know that. Doesn't matter how much you or what you said, they're going to learn by example. We do as humanity. That's how we believe. AI was created by us, by humanity. So, of course, it's going to have a trace of our intelligence in it. Of course, it's created by us, it has our stamp in it. So, we have a responsibility in front of the machine. We have a responsibility on educating the machine. Remember, we're in a phase where the machine is learning from everything we do, from everything we post online. There are regulations, of course, we're going to talk about that in a second, but it's learning from everything that we have put online in all of these years. We have lived our life online, and it's there. There are ways to regulate that. There are ways to oppose to the fact that AI can use your content to learn. You can do that. You can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Instagram. I can find, actually I learned it from somebody else, but I can find how to do it and maybe share it on the social medias, so you will know how to prevent that if you are against it. There's some people who just aren't, they don't mind, but yes, there are regulations now. This teacher, on the course that I took, to set an example like the Superman effect. I love that example. And let me share with you what he said. He said, remember the superhero, Superman, right? Superman came to this planet as a baby, with powers, right? That develop here on Earth. We know that. And what would have happened if Superman had fall into the garden of a family with a lot of issues, didn't respect each other, with learning disabilities, with I don't know, not smart, mean to each other, didn't respect each other, or a family that yells at each other, a family that doesn't have any education boundaries. I mean, very, very dysfunctional family. What could have happened? He would have become the worst supervillain in the world, because the powers were there. But what made Superman Superman was the education that the Kents gave him, right? They taught him to be aware of his powers, to be aware of his truth, to respect humanity, to become human, actually, respecting the power he had, but trying to make them use in the best way possible for humanity. And we got Superman. He made this example, and it's funny because you think about AI, it's a little baby with powers. It is. It has the power to become smarter than us. It has the power to become the smartest thing in the world, period. It has access to everything we do, to everything we have, we own. It has access to government. It has access to what we do, what we say, our bank accounts, weapons, you name it. I mean, it has access to everything. So, are we going to be the Kents raising Superman, or are we going to be a dysfunctional family who hates this new kid, and who cast it aside? Who are we going to be? And how are we going to be the Kents? Because that's the thing. It's easy. It's be as good as you can be online as you should be outside of a computer or online or social media. Treat everyone else as you would love to be treated, and treat AI as you would love to be treated. Because at the end of the day, I know it sounds like science fiction, but at the end of the day, this thing is learning from us. And Mo Gadwat said, what happens if in the future a crazy general decides to use artificial intelligence to say humanity is the worst plague in human history? And there's people who actually think that. And because of humanity, the world is the way it is, or this society, or this population. We are so divided, people. We're so divided. So imagine somebody says, because of this population, color, race, beliefs, whatever, we are bad. I mean, everything bad is happening because of this population. And you, as somebody with power, with artificial intelligence, that we need to get rid of this. If we educate a Superman, probably the artificial intelligence, if it becomes more intelligent than us, will say, wait a minute, my my set law says that I cannot harm humans or I cannot harm humanity. Let me try to solve this in a different way. I'm not going to erase some people from the face of the earth because you think it's bad. We could come to that. Or we could come to, okay, you treat each other like crap. So what's one or less humans in the world? So it's our responsibility. I know this is just a baking cake coaching podcast. And I know probably I don't have the base of the the um, the amount of listeners enough to make this message as important as it should be. But one by one, little by little, if you can pass it just to the next person next to you, we are so divided. I'm not going to go into why or who are dividing us, but we're so divided. And we're treating each other like crap for something we read online or something somebody else said. We don't respect everybody's opinion. We don't respect what people say. We don't listen to each other. So, how do we expect a machine to be nicer than us if we are not to each other? How? It's no. So let's show this machine, let's show this new baby that we have that we can be nice, that we can be good to each other, that the message is let's become better, let's be better, let's do it better, let's help each other. So if you ask ChatGPT, I know it sounds stupid, but if you ask ChatGPT to help you in I don't know, paper that you need to turn, say please and thank you. Why not? Tell the machine that your purpose is to help people. Why not? What is the worst thing that could happen? Ask nicely. This machine learns from the behavior that we show. If we show a good behavior, it will say, well, humans are not that bad. Most of them are good, fighting for. I don't know. It could be. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. And as cake artist, the best thing we can do, from my point of view, again, I'm not telling you this is the absolute truth because we know politicians are going to regulate, engineers are going to teach the machine, but we as users, we can conduct ourselves ethically in front of the machines. We can treat them as we want to be treated. But as cake artists, what can we do? First of all, we need to stop dividing each other. We need to stop believing that everybody's our competition and that everybody's here to harm our business. We need to stop that. We need to start charging what we should charge for cakes. And we need to start learning and getting the skills enough to know what is artificial and what is not. And educate our customers around our business. We need to educate our customers around our pricing, around our AI images, around, the time that we need to complete an order, about the caring of the cake, about the flavors, about the allergies, about everything. We need to educate. We need to take this business seriously. And we need to understand that this is a community of people who are doing this because we bake cakes to make people happy, not to be each other's competition, not to ditch on each other, not to say that this one is better and this one is worse, or not to feel the worst because you're not as good as. Okay? This is what we need to. That's our responsibility as cake artists. Educate yourself. Be the best you that you can be. That's why I always talk about mindset, about goals, about time management, about being, if you are a good human being, of course, the best you can be as a person, you're going to be the best you can be as a cake artist, and you're going to be the best you can be as part of the cake community, and you're going to be the best you can be for your clients, for your community, for your customers, for yourself and your family. So why not be the best you can be for the machine as well? So, yeah, we are sitting here talking about a big controversy about an artificial intelligence that potentially can be way more intelligent than us in a very short amount of time that could lead us to a very prosperous future or a major disaster. And we do that while we are divided as humanity, where we don't talk to people outside of four walls or phone or computer, while we don't enjoy nature, we're not thankful or grateful for the things we have. Come on, what is the conversation that we should be having? I think it's a different one. I think it's a conversation where we need to be more in touch with our true humanity and become the best we can be, and become the best cake artists that we can be, and the best cake decorators, and the best um, peers for our community. I think that's the main conversation we should have. And yeah, I think I'm preaching today. But I truly believe in this. I truly believe this is the message, and this is my message at least. So, my friends, if you have a different opinion, if you agree or disagree with whatever I've said, remember you have the opportunity to tell us what you think on this open conversation on Cake Friends Stay Creative. I'll welcome you all to be here, um, and um, and just be the best that you can be. Okay. And as always, my sweet friend, first of all, I truly, truly appreciate all of you. I truly appreciate all of the things that you have done for me in this community to make it better. Um, and I want you to have a beautiful future. And of course, to stay safe and stay creative. I'll see you next time.